Austin Seminary is where people come to discover their gifts for ministry.
I came to this campus a little over 40 years ago as a young woman with a pretty strong sense of calling for ministry. I've wrapped around sort of the core of my calling, which to me felt like I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna engage congregations in social holiness.
This is a space for you to grow. This is a space for you to be really find your pace in your community so that you can be equipped to do more of what you already do, what you are already gifted to do, but do it in a way that you never thought you could do.
So I came to this campus to be credentialed. I knew I was going to have to learn Bible and theology and preaching so that I could do my real calling, peace and justice and the transformation of the world. And I'm sharing my story because of what happened once I came. When I came to this campus, I discovered that not only was I going to learn those Bible, theology, and preaching, but oh my gosh, I was going to love them. And that my limited idea of the gifts God gives us for ministry was so small compared to all that God is prepared to do.
I came from South Korea, far away from here. The Austin Seminary has helped me find out who I really am. In my case, before I came here, I served in the military as a military officer for decades, and then that experience made me think that I am kind of a hierarchical person. But since I came here, as God took me off that kind of a path to responsibility, and as well as the seminary invoked my real hidden identity within me, I became much more flexible, loving, and liberal person in seeing God's self and in seeing people and in seeing the world.
Every student comes to Austin Seminary with a unique story. And every student, when they graduate, adds to the tapestry that is the beautiful story of God's reconciliation to the world in Jesus Christ. That's why I'm committed to Austin Seminary.
We create spaces within folks to accept their authentic selves, and then to place into those spaces that love of learning of Bible and theology and preaching.
I think it was in Cindy Rigby's first theology class for first-year students. She talked about how important it was for us to understand that what we did, how we learned and how we studied was more than for us. It wasn't just a personal development, that it was part of our gifts back to the community, that learning here is about growing so that we can help others grow. And, you know, that made it a lot more serious for me. I was no longer playing around at the sort of Bible study level I had been. This had teeth. This had a responsibility.
My class with Dr. Helsel for pastoral care and counseling is amazing. We are learning the value and importance of listening to other stories in a non-judgmental way, and to hold space for people to share their lives and to offer God's love. It was a wonderful time of connection and getting to use our gifts for ministry in the community.
When I got to the seminary, we found that there was a need in Texas, even in this school in Texas, to make the Latino Hispanic community more robust, to find voice, to find community. With other student, we developed the Hispanic student group. From that, in conversations with the African American student group, we launched HISED, which is a justice conversation that we have here based around faith and race and reconciliation.
Between the professor and each of us working to stay grounded in ourselves and in the expansiveness of our faith and trust and love that we know in Jesus Christ, I saw people who had been hardened toward each other try to open and ease, people that I did not anticipate being advocates for other voices, speak from their own space about how they saw and wanted to care for others that they saw being marginalized. It was amazing. It was heartwarming. I never would have believed it if I hadn't been there.
Students come to this campus with a sense of their calling and a sense of their gifts. But together we participate as they discover, and together we develop, and then we send them forth to deploy their capacious gifts that God has given to love and serve this world.
Definitely the most rewarding thing about my job as academic dean at the seminary is seeing students develop their gifts for ministry while they're here, and then watching them thrive in ministry after they've graduated. Our students and our graduates are renewing the church, and they're changing the world.
You know, I served this really tiny congregation in this really tiny town in East Texas, and never failed. No matter when I started the sermon or how long the sermon was going to be, that train was coming through right in the middle. And this 120-year-old building would shake and shimmy and move. But something here did teach me how to do that. You know, it wasn't about how great my homiletic skill was. It was about the community that I was able to develop in that town. It was about us being able to laugh for a moment, take a breath, and engage the spirit that was moving in that time.
Without your support and without your love and without your generosity, my study here would have been happen, because I know it's kind of a miracle for me. And then I would like to just say that your love and your support has made a lot of miracle within me, within someone who came from a faraway country. And then I'm right now envisioning my future ministry for the people who are far away from here.
I want to give a huge thank you to Austin Seminary. Austin Seminary is doing an amazing job at preparing me to be a pastor in the community, and I am so grateful to be here.
We are equipping leaders to lead into the unknown, and that's a really scary, really difficult, really amazing asset of Austin Seminary.
Austin Seminary is where the people come to discover their gifts for ministry.
One thing that Austin Seminary has helped me discover is the names for the things that my heart was yearning for.
That's what we do. That's what we do.